They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
That is the theme song for our next guest coming into the studio. You're listening to Last Call with Jeremy.
And Noelle.
This is 94.3 K News. Yes, there is pro wrestling in the desert, in case you did not know. I know that we had a couple of guests on about 2 or 3 months ago.
It was a while back,
High Flying Steve Sensation and Steve Drake was the other one,
right.
I do believe, who came in and told us about Alpha Omega Wrestling. Now we have somebody else coming into the studio, and it's his theme song right here from Weird Al Yankovic, White and Nerdy. His name is Dexter Milhouse. So he's coming in. He's going to hopefully not vandalize the studio,
right.
but talk about he's going to be wrestling this Saturday.
That's right.
And
Saturday, October 27th at 3 p.m. at 1901 East Barristo Road in Palm Springs. Mr. Dexter Milhouse, welcome to our show. We'd love to hear all about this happening.
Salutations. You're welcome for having me.
Okay, all right.
He's a bad guy now, people.
He's a bad guy. So, Dexter, let's get into you as a wrestler. When did you get into wrestling? What made you decide that you wanted to be a wrestler?
I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I was a kid. And I woke up one morning and discovered my parents had been kidnapped by ninjas.
Okay.
And
wow.
So I started studying. I was looking into studying some martial arts, some, your typical Southeast Asian martial arts.
Right,
to,
typical. Yeah,
to get the, that's what the ninjas are doing. So I looked into it, and I found that martial arts, all the typical ones you see, like karate, taekwondo, they're all designed to defend against other kinds of martial arts. And I found that none of those are designed to defend against professional wrestling. So the ninjas would be defenseless against me if I took on professional wrestling.
And how many ninjas have you fought and destroyed with your
I've yet to
skills?
see a ninja. I haven't seen a ninja.
Wait,
my
so
whole
and
life.
what about your mom and dad?
They're good at hiding, from what I hear.
Yeah. Okay. So
I've yet to see one.
Are you expecting one to jump out anywhere and you take them on right there?
Well, he's got another thing coming if he wants to jump out at me.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Dexter, you're going to be wrestling this Saturday. It's Alpha Omega Wrestling. Before we get into that, what is Alpha Omega Wrestling? Tell us all about that.
Alpha Omega Wrestling is an independent wrestling organization. It's like what you see on TV with the big guys. There's a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
But it's on a much smaller scale. It's sort of the way to think of it is it's our home team. If you're a professional wrestler or a professional wrestling fan, it's our home team here in Coachella Valley. We have a professional wrestling organization we can go see, and it's
It's very neat.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. And they're based out of Palm Desert.
Yeah, the Coachella Valley.
Omega. Oh, right. Okay, Coachella Valley. Dexter, I absolutely love what you have on tonight. We have taken pictures prior to you coming on to the show, and just so our audience can see, we'll post them on our Facebook page. But you also have a Facebook page yourself.
That's right. It's www.facebook.com/Dexter Milhouse.
Dexter Milhouse.
And that's Milhouse. There's not an extra L. You know me, I want to put 2 L's in there, but it's just one L.
There's one L.
Well, I
Gotcha.
see you got glasses on. Do you wear those in the ring? Is that dangerous?
It's dangerous. I take them off. I don't wrestle in this. I take the tie off.
Okay, all right.
Gotcha. And do you wrestle in the suspenders, I guess you would call those? Suspenders?
Yeah, I don't want my pants to fall down in the middle of the ring.
So you keep them on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Dexter Milhouse is our guest from Alpha Omega Wrestling. Now, the event. Tell us about the event that's coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday, we are right down the street at Palm Springs Power Stadium. We've got the main event is going to be Eric Watts versus Diablo. Eric Watts, if he sounds familiar, he was in the TV show Tough Enough, which is sort of a tryout show for WWE.
Wow.
So he is the champion right now, and Diablo is trying to take the title from him. And if both men agree to it, it's going to be held inside of a steel cage. Also,
Ouch.
You're going to do a steel cage match then this Saturday.
not me. It's going to be.
Okay.
It's going to be Watts and Diablo. I will be in a match with 6 or 8 other guys. There's a couple girls involved too. Good luck to them.
Okay.
Anyways,
So you got men and women wrestlers in this thing in
Yeah.
Alpha Omega Wrestling. Now, do the women just wrestle the women, and the men wrestle the men, or do you?
well, there's going to be a couple girls in the match that I'm involved in. There's going to be 6 or 8 of us. If you get pinned, you're eliminated. The last one in the ring gets. It's called a cash in a case match. If you win, if you're the last survivor, you get the case, which inside of it is a contract to face any champion that you want, whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So you could wait till after the guy's finished with a match and then run out there and say, okay, I'm cashing in my case.
Huh. I didn't know it works like that. Okay.
We're
Or
not-
it can.
Well, it's
It can work like
it's
that.
a special stipulation we added, and if one of the girls win, obviously they're going to go for the women's title. Sort of like whoever gets the case is the number 1 contender.
But you're going to win this thing, right?
Oh,
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, metaphorically speaking, if I can for a sec, in this kind of a match, you got to be one of 2 things. Either you're a field mouse or you're a barn owl. The field mouse likes to run around and hide. He's really hard to catch, but you can only hide for so long because the barn owl can see at night. I'm the barn owl. My opponents are the field mice. So if they desire some, they can come acquire some. But I highly advise against it because this Saturday, right down the street at Palm Springs Power Stadium at Unleashed, guess what? I guarantee, just like every single day since the beginning of time, the sun will go down. And that's good for me and bad for them. Because this particular barn owl's name is Dexter Milhouse.
Eddie's here in the studio with us on Last Call. Thank you for coming in. So I'm going to ask the devil's advocate question, Dexter Milhouse. Some people think this whole pro wrestling thing is there's really not a lot of physical sport involved. It's just acting and playing. What do you say to people who tell you that? Or have you ever confronted? Has anybody ever confronted you about that?
Well, that's a really good question. There's a simple and short answer for that, and that is none of your business.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Well, there I just got told. So
Yeah.
I'm,
and you better listen to that.
yeah, I am. I'm glad the glass.
It's a
is
good thing
separating
the
us.
glass is. Yeah, and I don't have any glass
No, you don't.
dividing me from
From-
protecting
from-
me from Dexter.
Yeah, but I think you could hold your own there, maybe with Dexter. I don't know. I know I probably couldn't. So it's best that the glass is separating us. What makes you the best wrestler, Dexter? Is it all those ninja skills that you acquired, or the wrestling ninja skills? And
I am the king of cold calculation, total devastation, and furious master planning. And when I say master planning, that's extensive research on my opponents. So when I get into the ring, I know what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do.
do you have like a signature move?
Yes, it's called the Control-Alt-Delete.
Okay. And what is that? Can you describe it?
It's sort of like a fireman's carry. If any of your wrestling fans, it's sort of like a fireman's carry. You sort of got the guy like a sack of potatoes over your shoulders.
Right. I can picture that.
The head goes under the arm, and then you just slam the head down and pop it like a grape. And they don't get up after that.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you ever hurt yourself in the ring? Like put yourself out of commission, or got put out of commission?
Seriously, I've been pretty lucky so far, and I've played. A lot of the guys are really good at what they do, and sort of work as a team. We sort of work as a team. We're trying to put on a show. So I've been on a softball team, and during that season, I saw more people get hurt than the year I've been wrestling.
In wrestling, huh?
Yeah.
Now, is there one particular wrestler that you like to be teamed up with, as opposed to against? You know, like a tag
team. Yeah.
I haven't teamed with anybody.
No, you haven't. Okay.
But I'm better alone right now. They're just going to hold me down.
Right.
Okay. All right. Dexter Milhouse is our guest here on Last Call. It's 94.3 K News. Alpha Omega Wrestling, that is the organization, and they do professional wrestling. Now, this isn't this isn't backyard wrestling, right? Now, remember, there was a whole rash of backyard wrestling and people putting it up on YouTube and people getting hurt. So that's not the same thing, like people jumping off roofs and flying on tables and things like that, right?
No, we don't do any of that. You got to be a complete idiot to do that stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff you see on True TV. And
Yeah, the guy who is teaching me and still teaching me actually has a license, a training license, pro wrestling training license. So, you got to learn how to fall. You got to learn how to roll. You got to, there's about 10 or 12 different rolls and falls that once you have all those, you're not going to get hurt.
That's cool.
Now, if I'm an aspiring wrestler and I want to get involved in your organization, do you guys have auditions, tryouts? I mean, how did you actually get hooked up with Alpha Omega? Did they come to you? You went to them?
Well, I was actually at their first show, which was also at Palm Springs Power Stadium a year ago, and I liked it, and I liked their webpage or their Facebook page, and on their page they were asking for people to help set up the ring for the next show. So I got a hold of them, and I started out setting up the ring, like a lot of people actually do. A lot of wrestlers started out setting up the ring and being part of the ring crew.
What is that? What does that entail? The setting up of the ring?
You set the ring up. It's actually made of 2x4 or is it 8x2 or it's wood.
Okay.
It's not as soft as you might think.
No, I'm sure not.
But that's what learning taking the falls is all about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So setting up the ring was how I got started. Then they started asking me if I wanted to try it out, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. And if anybody who does want to try it out, you can go to the Facebook page, and I'm not sure who you would contact. Maybe you would just message the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. Alpha Omega Wrestling?
Yeah, because there is a school up in Yucca that where I go every week.
How neat.
Yeah.
So your Facebook page again is what? It was facebook.com/Dexter Milhouse, right? With Milhouse with one L, not two.
Right.
That's right.
That's where people can go and they can like your page. And the event, like I said, it's this Saturday at the Palm Springs Power Stadium over there at the high school on Baristo. Dexter Milhouse is going to be, and you're fighting, you said, like 6 or 8 people. That's
so, and it's every man for himself.
Every man for himself. There's no friends.
Wow.
Well, that's a bit like a battle royale. I think it's what they called it, right? Back pro wrestling, WWF.
Sort of like
a
battle royale. A battle royale is if you get thrown over the top rope, you're eliminated. In this one, when you get pinned, or if you submit, you're eliminated. And the last one gets the cash in the case.
Right.
That's the match I'm involved in. Also, we have a women's title match. Tara Calloway will face Andrea the Giant.
Andrea the Giant, okay, all
That's
right.
great.
Like Andre the Giant from
Right.
WWF. but
Yeah,
Andrea.
she's actually
Love
Andre the Giant's illegitimate daughter.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, Noelle and I are thinking about showing up to this thing.
It's 3 p.m. next Saturday. It's
3
perfect.
p.m. That's over by my place. I could just walk over there.
I
Just
know.
meet up
Same
with
here.
you
I can meet you out over there, and we can go.
And we can watch Dexter just mop the floor with
Annihilate.
him. Yeah, just
I'll
annihilate
vandalize people for you.
and destroy. Dexter, we want to thank you for coming into the studio and telling us about this event. But before we let you go, do you have any words of wisdom for everybody out there?
Yeah, just come to the show next week. The king of cold calculation, total devastation, and furious master planning is going to vandalize for everybody who shows up.
Well, there you have it, Dexter Milhouse. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
in, and thank you for not vandalizing the studio and roughing us up. You were very cool with us. So
Very calm.
Not a problem. The pleasure was all yours.
yes, it was. You're listening to Last Call with Jeremy and Noelle and Dexter Milhouse right here on 94.3 K News.